Hi there, I'm Stephen Greenstreet, the shooter, editor, director, etc. of the last one.
Hi, I'm Emily Paup. Same director, writer, actor,
Shooter.
shooter.
So,
Last one.
this is the last one, and we wanted to do a simpler, more kind of streamlined, short horror film than our last one, Slender Man, which kind of like blew out of control. So we came up with this idea here, which was inspired from a Reddit comment that I read. Um, it's basically this story, but it happened during World War II in Nazi Germany. It was supposedly an urban legend out there about post World War II, where this like Nazi cannibal was like sending innocent people to this via letter to deliver a letter to this like basement dwell, and so I just kind of updated it.
And instead of bringing on friends, we tried to, recruit actors. Emily Paup is also my name, spelled differently, but she's weirdly enough the main actress that we were
Let's
interested in.
reemphasize that really quick. So the actress, our lead actress here, her name is literally Emily Paup,
Which is also my name.
which is literally your name, and it's such like a unique name. And then it just
It's
turned
uncanny.
out. So there's two Emily Pops in this film, which is
And
just
that was
ridiculous.
our joke. Yes. And then at every turn, we kept getting confused.
Yeah.
We would yell.
And like Emily said, like we actually held auditions and went online and found professional actors and hired them, and because we wanted kind of a more. We just felt like we'd be spending much more time on takes if we weren't working with professionals, and we got lucky and had some great actors.
We do. Here's Myra's scene, and the first one is a best friend, and like we said, Emily was our main actress.
So if you notice here, okay, so this shot right there, you see those gigantic cranes? Okay, the night before they were not there. This is a park right across the house from where we live, right across from where we live. And we were like, oh, we're going to get this great shot of New York in the background, and then we show up and those gigantic cranes are there.
But it worked in our favor. Part of what we wanted to cut down with Slender Man going in the woods last year was this would be close by. We could do easy pickup takes. It would just be right across the street. But those cranes actually worked for us, and we made it work.
Yeah, so this is all taking place during a fall festival. This is the Socrates Sculpture Park in Astoria, and we were like, oh, we need to film this where there's a lot of background fall activities happening, and there was going to be this fall festival right across the street from where we live, and we had to like cross our fingers that it wouldn't rain because it was a rain and shine event. And so luckily it was just kind of partly cloudy, so some of the shots you see like the sun's out and then it's like cloudy there.
We also had to work with a crowd, so we got a lot of strange shots of people looking like, what the fuck, from the background. Because we were filming this during a shot.
No one knew what we were doing. And so the day before we launched this, we went to this other festival deep in Queens, took a drive. So the earlier shots of like the girls running in costume, the giant haunted house, like, playpen, like all of that was shot at another fall festival because we weren't really happy with the shots we got this day.
We had to shoot around some things. There was a leaf blower at one point that just killed our audio. We, again, struggled to find an audio guy, so it was a lot of times our friend-driven crew jumping on a boom pole.
Like, quick, hold this boom pole. And we had a problem with a lav mic, and so one of our lav mics failed, so we basically had to rely solely on the boom and the shotgun mic. Just another quick thing of trivia. When you see Emily's outfit here, I sent her pictures of Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis's character from the original 1978 Halloween, and I was like, try to dress like this. Color, and if you have the exact outfit, that would be awesome. So when there's a wide shot, look at it and then go look at Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween, and it looks pretty similar.
We really lucked out with our actors, though. Here's David as the blind man. He came in. We thought he was great for the part. He looked great. Another problem we had was securing props. It's very hard to actually find blind men glasses in New York, and believe me, we looked everywhere. We found the cane pretty easily enough from a Halloween shop, but those glasses were actually, I think we went to at least 4 or 5 locations.
We spent way too much time looking for this.
We did, but we needed those glasses, and like you see, we got some sick shots in the reflection.
Also, might want to point out that there is one gigantic plot hole in that conversation that just happened, which is, if he's blind, how did he write the letter? And we wanted to work that in. We wanted to go back and kind of work in a line that explained that. It just ran out of time.
But she's naive, and she's going with it, and she's troubled by something.
I love that shot.
This is the shot I shot from our balcony, actually.
That I shot from our balcony.
I remember you were downstairs.
Okay. And so anyway, the GoPro shot that you saw of the glasses falling into the trash can was inspired from Breaking Bad, which always seems to be throwing GoPros everywhere. So,
which we were showing at the time. All this was shot in Astoria, where we live in Queens, and there was a shot of that bridge when she was walking across.
Yeah, this is all shot within a few blocks of where we lived. We just wanted to keep it local because for Slender Man, we traveled everywhere,
Simpler.
found ourselves like lost in the woods, and it's just we wanted it to be simpler here.
If you notice, there is a missing sign, and we used pictures from the crew and cast of our last horror film, Slender Man.
Yeah.
Just as a fun little Easter egg.
And also, they were literally missing this time from the crew.
Sure.
So, okay, this location, the alleyway. The ever elusive alleyway. We scouted for weeks for the best alleyway in Astoria.
Creepy, trying to look for creepy.
I mean, walking around for hours and hours on weekends looking for the perfect alleyway. This place was basically right up the street from where we lived. But the only problem is that it was sealed. It was chained shut. We couldn't open it. And so the day before, I went and bought bolt cutters. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. We're just going to cut the chain and then open it up and go shoot in it. And that's exactly what we did.
It looked too incredible. We got harassed a little bit for being there. We weren't supposed to be there. There were video cameras, but luckily we were only there 2 hours.
Yeah.
Which was a lot.
Yeah, and so Emily and I showed up early morning. I mean, like early morning of the day of the shoot. She stood watch while I cut the gate open, and then luckily no one like kicked us out.
Yeah, we love this wall though. This texture.
And then back here, this whole back area was just incredible. So, normally you're supposed to go through and get like, licenses and stuff to shoot. And we were just like, well, let's just hope no one kicks us out.
The reason why she goes down the alley, she's looking for the address. We posted these numbers up here, and that's her motivation for going back there.
Yeah, we just bought these numbers at like Home Depot and threw them up, and you can actually tell they were thrown up from that shot.
Well, we wanted it sort of off kilter. Give it a little foreshadowing that something was amiss, literally.
So here's one of our first shots of our cannibal dungeon, which we built in our apartment.
Spray painted some plywood. God knows we just got a lot of fake blood and meat.
Let's just talk about this cannibal dungeon. We went to like Home Depot, bought like sheets of 8-foot plywood, spray paint, and spent like 2 weeks just like spray painting, drying, nailing, screwing, putting everything together.
These walls.
And literally it's in our living room. This right here is in our living room. We just built this place.
This is me because we had an actor drop out the last minute who was supposed to be a male cannibal on the table. And I was thrown in there because he didn't show up, and we were on a very tight deadline to shoot. And if you noticed, we had these orange bracelets, which implied that I was actually someone that was also lured to this location from the same festival.
Everyone at the festival had these orange bracelets, and so it was just one of the subtle things that we threw in there. And those effect shots that you see of the fingers being cut up and the blood and everything, we actually hired a great David Rodriguez, a great effects artist. I just, if you're going to do it right. And he came in and really made things look grisly and amazing.
Here's the trip, which was an interesting thing. We just laid some cushions down, and bless her heart, Emily fell back on these pillows. It took a few takes, about 18
takes,
so.
Yeah. Oh, that was your pregnant belly.
Another reason why I was not wanting to be the person on the table is because I was
6 months.
6 months pregnant at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that's our baby daughter who's sleeping right now. That was Harper's cameo, was there on the table. Anything for the
film. So we threw me in there. This is Jerry, someone we used. A friend from the last horror movie, Slender Man, is actually the shadowy figure
who's stalking her.
Yeah.
Oh, and I meant to say this, but if you go back when she's looking through the window and it's the POV shot, that's actually just like a cardboard box that I just cut a hole in to get that that effect. The music that you're hearing here is actually the Inception soundtrack slowed down 800%. Okay, so this is two dumpsters behind like an elementary school here in Astoria, and it was a Saturday. And when we location scouted during the week, obviously it was open. But when Saturday arrived, we're like, oh crap, what if it's closed? You know, these are the only two big dumpsters we know of. So we finished shooting, then we went there, and it was open. So we just ran in here and shot this all without sound. So all the sound you're hearing is Foley.
And here we go with the Jerry's hand coming around grabbing her. She's just read the note, which you'll in the audience see fall to the ground.
Talk to me about that tin sound.
That tin sound I found online.
It took us forever to find that sound.
Luckily found it, fully did in the editing process, which was a high five for both of us. This letter, as you'll see, we had about 8 different versions.
Yeah. So this Steadicam shot was so hard because it was the end of the shoot day and it was the last shot, and like I had to get it right and hold it right, and like my body was just tired at that point. But you know, turned out pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess like the biggest thing about this film would probably be the cannibal dungeon. Is like the thing that sticks out in my book is.
Yeah.
I mean, we had to lay down a
blood.
tarp, and you know, I lived in this like penthouse at the time, and like. These sticklers the day after we decided to move, and like the landlord was like, okay, I'm gonna come by tomorrow and to check out the apartment, and we still had like body parts and blood on the floor and this cannibal dungeon and skulls, and we're just like, oh fuck. So we had to like quickly clean it up,
not only shimmy the wood downstairs in time, but mop up fake blood in mattress sheets that we threw away, and God knows what they think of us at that apartment building, because they're just bloody sheets that we threw away.